established rich coming right back at you. Sometimes the biggest decisions in life don't look big at all. Sometimes they look like a whisper, a quiet little thought that says, just one more time. Or sometimes it says, just this one time. It don't sound dangerous. It don't sound like a life-changing decision. It sounds small. It sounds harmless. It sounds like something people say every day. Let's just try it one time. Let's just do it one time. And most of the time when people say those words, they are not thinking about the consequences. They thinking about the moment. They thinking about the pressure. They thinking about the feeling. They thinking about what everybody else is doing. But life has a way of turning small moments into permanent consequences. And that's what this message is about. The power of one time. Because a lot of people have lost their entire future over something they planned to do one time. One drink, one drug, one bad decision, one moment of weakness, one moment of peer pressure, one moment of not thinking. And before you even realize what happened, your life is going in the direction you never planned. See, when people talk about tragedy, normally they talk about big events. But most tragedies don't start big. They start small. They start with a sentence. Come on, man. Just try it one time. You only live once. Don't be scared. It's just one time. Those 4 words have destroyed lives. Let me give you an example that a lot of people still talk about to this day. A young man who had everything in front of him. A future, a career, a legacy waiting to happen. His name was Len Bias. Len Bias was one of the most talented basketball players in America. He had just been drafted into the NBA by the Boston Celtics. Think about that for a second. His dream had already come true. The contract was coming. The money was coming. His career was about to begin. But then one night happened. One decision.
Success story took a tragic turn this morning. Len Bias, the Maryland University basketball star on his way to becoming a world champion Boston Celtic, died of an apparent heart attack today at Leland Memorial Hospital in Prince George's County. Dave Statter is at the College Park campus of the University of Maryland with this live update.
Washington Hall. This is where Len Bias collapsed early this morning in this dormitory here on the University of Maryland campus. He was talking to some friends early this morning when he collapsed. Doctors say he died of a heart attack, cardiopulmonary arrest. But what that means or what caused that heart attack, we don't know.
Len Bias decided to try just one time. That was the story people around him told. He wasn't a known addict. He wasn't a street guy. He wasn't someone known for drugs. But that one time was all it took. Len Bias collapsed. His heart stopped, and the NBA career that was supposed to last 15 years ended before it even started. Just one time. That's all it was. One decision, one moment, one choice, and a life was gone. A family lost a son, a city lost a hero, and a league lost a future superstar. And if you think that story is rare, it's not. Somewhere right now, someone is hearing that same voice. Come on, just try it. It's just one time. Somebody on vacation, somebody at a party, somebody celebrating their birthday, somebody trying to impress friends, and they think to themselves, it won't hurt to do it just this one time. But what they don't realize is that one time can change everything. See, life don't always give you a second chance. Sometimes life only gives you one decision, and that decision can define everything that happens after that. This is why wisdom is so important. That's why self-control is so important. That's why being able to say no is one of the most important skills a person can have, because a lot of people are not strong enough to say it in the moment. They worried about looking weak, looking scared, or being judged. So they say yeah, and that yeah becomes the moment their life changes. Now let's talk about something else that has ruined a lot of lives. Crime. Not career criminals. Not people who grew up living that life. I'm talking about people who said they were only going to do something one time. You heard the story before. A person hits a rough patch. They behind on their bills. They feeling the pressure. They feeling desperate. And then somebody call them with a plan. Come with me on this lick. Gonna be easy money. We just gonna do this one time and then we done. Just one time. Just one robbery. Just one move. Just one lick. And in their mind, they think they gonna fix their problems in one night. But here's the part they don't think about. When you decide to commit a crime, you lose control of what happens next. You can plan the crime, but you can't plan the consequences. You can't control how people react. You can't control who show up. You can't control who get hurt. And that's how people end up with life sentences. Somebody goes on a robbery they never planned to do again. Somebody pulls a gun they never planned to use. Somebody panics. Somebody fires. And in one moment, a life is taken. Now you're not just a person who made a mistake. Now you're a person facing charges. Now you a person sitting in a courtroom. Now you a person hearing the judge say life without parole. And the craziest part about it is many of those people never saw themselves as criminals. They were just people who said, I do this one time. That's all it takes. One decision, one moment of poor judgment. And now your whole life is different. But it don't stop there. Let's talk about another area where just one time can change everything. This is the most common place where people make decisions in a moment. People get caught up in emotion, attraction, and they say something everybody has said. I just do it this one time. I don't need protection this time. We'll be careful. But life don't always give you that kind of control. One time can turn into a pregnancy. One time can turn into a disease that changes your health forever. One moment of passion can create a lifetime of responsibility. And again, this ain't about judging people. This is about reality. Because the truth is, most people who experience these consequences did not plan for them. They were just living in the moment. They were just following their feeling. They were just saying, just this one time. But life don't measure consequences by how many times you planned on doing something. Life measures consequences by what actually happens. And sometimes the first time is the last time. Sometimes the first time is the moment everything changes. This is why discipline matters. This is why thinking ahead matters. This is why you have to learn to stop and ask yourself one question. What if this one time changes my life? Because sometimes it does. Now we got to talk about the most dangerous version of this phrase, just one time. Because in this age, that sentence has become a death sentence for a lot of people. We are living in an era where people are dying from drugs they never intended to take more than once. Not addicts, not people who have been using for years. I'm talking about people who were just curious, people who were just celebrating, people who were just trying something one time. And that one time was their last time. The opiate crisis has changed everything. We are now living in a time where people are taking pills and powders without even knowing what's inside of them. Somebody just hand them something. Somebody says it's safe. Somebody says it's just a little something to relax. And they think it won't hurt. I just tried this one time. But they don't know what they holding might be laced with something deadly. They don't know that a single dose can stop your heart. They don't know that their body might not handle it. And that's how people die. Not after years of addiction, not after months of use. They die the first time. Think about how tragic that is. A person goes to a party, a vacation, celebrates a birthday or anniversary, and in the middle of that moment, somebody offers them something. Come on, try it. We on vacation. And the next morning, their family is getting a phone call. The next morning, their parents are getting a knock on the door. The next morning, their friends are standing in shock. All because of one time. That's why this conversation matters. Because the most dangerous decisions in life are usually the ones that feel the smallest. Because the most dangerous decisions in life are usually the ones that feel the smallest. They don't feel like life or death moments. They feel like moments of fun, moments of curiosity, moments of peer pressure. But sometimes those moments are crossroads. Sometimes those moments are tests. Sometimes that little voice saying just one time is the most important voice you will ever hear. And the question is simple. Are you strong enough to say no? Are you strong enough to walk away? Are you strong enough to think about your future instead of the moment? Because the truth is, discipline is not about the big moments. Discipline is about the small ones. Discipline is about the moment everybody else is saying yes and you say no. And the beautiful part about life is that everybody gets those moments. Everybody hears that voice at some point. Everybody is offered something that feels tempting. But the people who build strong lives are the people who learn how to stop and think. They learn how to ask themselves one question. Is this one time worth losing everything? Because when you start thinking like that, your life changes. You start seeing decisions differently. You start seeing consequences differently. You start seeing your future differently. And you realize something powerful. Sometimes the best decisions you will ever make is the decision not to do something. But hey, that's just my opinion. What's yours? Like, comment, subscribe, establish rich. I'll be back with another one. Peace.